I'm Amara. Have you ever thought learning a language could be an adventure full of laughs, little victories, and even a few tears? Join me as I share my daily routine and how English has become a part of my story, making each day special and unforgettable. I'm 12 years old, and let me tell you, life isn't always easy. I was born with hearing loss, but now, thanks to my cochlear implant, I can experience the world in a whole new way. And guess what? I'm on a mission to learn English, even if it's a little bit hard. For me, learning English means more than just words. It's a way to connect, dream, and share my voice. Mornings used to be tough, and honestly, sometimes they still are. My alarm clock doesn't make a ringing sound. It buzzes and shakes like a tiny earthquake on my nightstand. I'd get up, feeling a little worried about how the day would go. At school, English class was the biggest challenge. Words felt like a tangled ball of yarn, impossible to sort out. I had to lip read my friends and focus really hard to hear my teacher. Even with my cochlear implant, I often felt like I was standing on the outside, looking in. I remember one day in class when I got asked to read aloud. My heart was pounding and my hands felt clammy. I stumbled over the words and tears pricked at the corners of my eyes. But instead of giving up, I kept going. That day, my teacher pulled me aside and said, "Amara, you are braver than you know." Her kindness made me feel seen, like someone really understood how hard I was trying. But my mom, who I think is secretly a superhero, came up with a way to make mornings better. We'd start the day with deep breathing exercises, pretending to blow bubbles or smell a field of flowers. Then I'd put on my cochlear implant and the world would light up. The sound of birds chirping outside my window felt like a gift, and even the hum of our old fridge made me smile. I was hearing, really hearing. English class became my new adventure. I'd write stories full of brave heroes and magical worlds, using the new words I learned. My best friend Layla was always by my side. We'd act out stories, signing and laughing until our stomachs hurt. One day, I wrote a story about a little girl who saved her town from a dragon with just her voice, and Layla said, "Amara, that's kind of like you." Her words touched my heart and made me feel like maybe I was the hero of my own story. Then came a day I'll never forget. It was my turn to read a story in front of the class again. This time, my hands still shook, but I took a deep breath and started reading. As I spoke, I realized I wasn't thinking about every word. I was just telling the story, like it was mine. When I finished, there was a moment of silence, and then the class erupted into cheers. My teacher had tears in her eyes, and Layla signed, "I'm so proud of you." I felt warmth spread through me, and I realized that learning English wasn't just about understanding. It was about feeling connected to the people I cared about. So, yeah. Learning English has been a mix of laughter, tears, and a lot of hope. It's not just about speaking perfectly, but about finding my voice and sharing it with others. If you're learning too, remember, every new word is a step toward telling your story. And that's something worth celebrating. If my story touched your heart or made you smile, comment below with the words that mean the most to you. And don't forget to check out my other videos for more adventures and language learning tips. Unforgettable. Something that is so memorable or impactful that you can't forget it. Cochlear implant, a special electronic device that provides a sense of sound to a person who is profoundly deaf or severely hard of hearing. Mission, an important task or goal that someone is determined to accomplish. Tangled, twisted together in a way that is complicated and hard to separate. Yarn, a long, thin material like string, often used for knitting or weaving. Lip read, to understand what someone is saying by watching the movement of their lips. Clammy, describing something that is damp, sweaty, and a little cold, usually because of nervousness or fear. Pricked, a sharp feeling like a tiny poke, usually referring to an emotional or physical sensation. Superhero, a fictional character with superhuman abilities who usually saves people or fights evil, used here humorously to describe someone who does something amazing. Erupted, suddenly burst out like a loud reaction from a group of people, connected, feeling a sense of belonging or understanding with someone or something.